Welcome to the Separation Anxiety in Dogs Decoded podcast. I am your host, Ness Jones, and we'll be deep diving into all things separation anxiety. But before we get started, please make sure you like this episode, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications so you never miss another one. And don't forget, if you are interested in joining my easy step-by-step training program to resolve separation anxiety in your dog, you'll find the link in the show notes. Now let's get started. Hello. So in the last episode, we talked about what to do or what to say to your dog when you are leaving them, either for a proper absence or for your training. In this episode, though, I'm going to examine what you should do when you come back from leaving your dog. Should you greet your dog? And if so, how should you greet your dog? So firstly, I think it's really important to remember that dogs are social creatures, and anybody that lives in a multi-dog household such as myself will know that if you take one of the dogs out, when they come back, the other two will greet them. It's just a normal doggy behavior. They will all greet each other because that's what dogs do. They're social creatures. They like to be social. So think about that when you're thinking about what should I do when I come back. Your dog has got up to greet you when you come back in. So for me, I think we can also greet them back. But how should we do it? That is the big thing. So a lot of trainers in the past would tell you about this 5-minute thing. I'm sure lots of you listening to this have heard it. Ignore your dog for 5 minutes. Don't acknowledge them. Don't pet them. Don't talk to them. Don't look at them, etc., for 5 minutes, and then when they're calm, you can greet them. I'm actually going to disagree with that. I don't agree with it because, as I've just said, dogs are social creatures. And I wanted to tell you this analogy because it always makes me laugh when I think about it. So I work from home. I spend most of my time here by myself, at home, alone, talking to people on the computer and working, etc., and watching dogs do home alone time on video. And so my husband doesn't work from home. He is out and about and he goes to work and he comes home. And now imagine if he walked in the door and I said to him, "Oh, hi, darling. How was your day? I did blah, 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 blah. And how was, what did you do? Well, was it a good day, a bad day, blah, blah, blah." And he was like, "Nope." And he completely ignores me, does not look at me, turns his head when I come up to him, doesn't speak to me, doesn't acknowledge me. Do you know what that would do to me? That would make me very, very stressed. What's going on? Have I done something to upset him? Is he upset because he had a bad day? What has created this behavior? And I think it's fair, excuse me, and speak proper. I think it's fair to say that, if your dog is excited to see you when you come home, which they are, of course, ignoring them, it's not real nice, is it? Like, I think I would feel stressed. But we don't have to also go, "Oh, Pookie, Juicy, I'm so excited to see you." Because that will probably, good chance, make them overexcited and maybe a bit silly, and that's not ideal either. So what should we do? I feel we can acknowledge the dog, say, "Hey, buddy, how's it going?" And then just be calm. Like, again, that whole calming thing that I talked about in the last episode. Don't get excited. Don't be over the top with them. Just be nice and calm. Now, we do know that some dogs, mine are definitely like this, get very, very excited when I come home and there's lots of barking and shouting. Not shouting, but they're shouting. "Rah, rah, rah, Mom's home, Mom, I'm so excited." So what can we do if that is the case, especially if you've got young children or seniors that, we don't want dogs jumping on people and hurting them or bowling them over, etc. So there are things we can do to mitigate that. One of them would be teaching a bed command, or a place command, mat command, whatever you want to call it, on your bed, place training, mat training, so that they learn that when you walk in the door, they go to their bed, they go to the mat. So they're not all over you and they're not being silly in your face. that's not going to happen overnight. You can't expect them to run to their bed every time you walk through the door initially, but you just have to build that up, and you have to practice and you have to train. So nothing happens out of the blue. Nothing happens if you do it once. It's going to keep happening. You have to train it. You have to set it up. So you would be doing an exercise where you're coming in, out, in, out. It's something you have to train. So you would break it down for your particular situation. I would probably start in the home, teacher on the bed command, on the bed, on the bed, on the bed. They know good things happen on the bed because that's what you've taught them. Yummy food, lots of, maybe something that they especially love is on the bed, so that when you walk in the door on the bed, it actually makes good things happen. But again, you have to train it. The other thing you could do is literally maybe have some food with you and ask for an alternative behavior. So when you walk in the door, you could scatter feed on the ground if that's something that your dog likes to do. So sniffing is really calming for a dog. And so you could literally walk in the door, find it, and just scatter some food for your dog. Alternatively, if the dog is, jumping, bouncing, being a kangaroo, you could maybe ask for an alternative behavior like sit. If they're sitting, they can't be bouncing, they can't be throwing themselves at you. So really, just be mindful that they are social creatures. Don't overexcite them when they come in, but you don't have to ignore them. I think some acknowledgement, hey, buddy, how's it going? I'm happy to see you as well. And maybe some scatter feeding on your bed, scatter feeding on your bed where something good is waiting for them, something tasty, or an alternative behavior like sit or down or what have you. You have been listening to Ness Jones on the Separation Anxiety in Dogs Decoded podcast. Don't forget to check out the show notes to learn more about my programs and how I can help you with tailored training. Until next time.